In these slides, we'll be shifting our focus now to a very macroeconomic sense for the remainder of the semester. Here, we remember that macroeconomics is a study of the whole economy. So we're looking at all the things. Primarily, macroeconomists are concerned with two topics: our long run economic growth and short run fluctuations. These short run fluctuations are known as the business cycle and will be covered in another set of lecture slides. But the idea here is that if we look at the history of the economy with a long enough lens, we'll see that overall the trend has been growth, especially in the last 2 centuries. So if we see that we've been growing and expanding overall, we know that in the shorter terms, we have these downturns and these upswings. We have things such as the Great Depression and the Great Recession. That's what we mean by these short run fluctuations. Overall, the trend has been for growth. And this is good. We need economic growth because we are faced with the overarching problem of scarcity. And so, because there's not enough to go around, economic growth is going to help us lessen that burden of scarcity. How do macroeconomists sort of study all of this? They do this by collecting a lot of data. And so the amount of data that they collect is a lot. And this is where you'll see lots of future careers in terms of data analysis and statistics associated with it. But primarily, the areas of focus for macroeconomists are real GDP, unemployment, and inflation. In these slides, we'll be looking strictly at real GDP. Unemployment and inflation will be held in another set of lecture slides. But those are the big three when we're really thinking about things that macroeconomists study. How do we go about collecting this? Well, this is done through the Bureau of Economic Analysis in the United States. They compile the national income and product accounts for the United States. This is sort of an accounting that's done for the country, similar to the accounting that can be done for an individual business or an individual household and person. What they're doing here is tracking metrics and data that are going to allow them to assess the health of the economy. So one way of doing this is to look at levels of production over regular intervals, so perhaps monthly or quarterly. We can look at different levels of production. This can be also, one of the ways that they can look at it is amounts of new construction. So we can look just into the construction industry and sort of get an idea of how the economy is doing by looking at how much construction is happening each month or each quarter. What the economists do is that they'll track these changes so that we can see overall, over a longer period of time, what might the trend be for the region, for the state, for the country. And then they can help come up with policies that will both safeguard the economic situation and help improve it. The goal is always to have growth. So this is the broadest overview of what the job of a macroeconomist would be, especially one out in industry. If this is interesting to you, there are definitely careers in this arena. If this is not the most interesting thing for you, too bad, you got to learn this for the class. And then outside of that, you'll be fine. You'll be able to take away a lot of the practical knowledge about real GDP, unemployment, and inflation going forward. Hopefully this was a good introduction for you. If you have questions, do feel free to always email at any time.